So today we're going to be fixing an Xbox One controller that has some stick issues. I've already pulled apart the front and the back. If you need a service like this, I do it for $30 labor plus parts. If you want to supply your own sticks, you're more than welcome to. I highly recommend getting sticks that have the Alps stamp. That's usually the manufacturer that makes these sticks. And I've had good luck with the sticks that have the Alps stamp. So let's get this controller out of the shell, and then we're going to talk about how we're going to get these sticks out. So I'm going to go ahead and get this motherboard out, and I'll show you the process. There's plenty of disassembly controllers and whatnot, but I'm just going to show you how the actual sticks themselves get taken off. So I'll be right back when I have this main board out. So I got the main board loose with screws. There's a few wires that we are going to need to desolder to safely work on this board. So let's get under the microscope. Alright, so we got this set of black and brown. Brown's on top, black is on the bottom. I'm going to flip this over because I'm right-handed. You can see brown on the top, black on the bottom. It's reversed for me. Just going to take those wires out. Make this a lot easier to work on. Okay, and then we'll take care of the rumble motors. It's red on top, black on bottom. So black on bottom for both of them. Oh, you can't see that. They're just a little bit further down on the board. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the black one now. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll pull the board off and get the sticks. Alright, so I got the board off, and what we're going to do is we're going to use some low melt solder, because, I mean, you can use a solder sucker on these, but I'm not going to. I don't have a good one for this application, and this will work just fine. I'm going to apply some flux on the joints where the stick comes through. And I mean, there's quite a few holes here too. I just don't want to have to use a ton of heat to get the sticks off. It's also like this insulation. Okay. And I'll just show you on this stick, and I'll go ahead and do the other one, and we'll come back. So let's get some low melt solder. And just, oops. Just gonna heat up the pen until it's molten, and touch this low melt solder. It'll mix in. You can already see the pins moving around. It's good. We'll do the next one. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on all the pins, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've got a low melt solder all over. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to use some Captain tape to mask off some of the areas I don't want to heat up. There's a lot of like small components and things like that. Don't really want to heat those up. Just some small pieces around. I don't want to desolder this. There's like a little daughter board that's soldered on top where it looks like the wireless antenna goes, or the wireless module is. So I'm just gonna mask off some of these spots that I don't want to touch. Oops, there goes my microscope. I keep having that problem. I'll do one more piece. I think I'm just going to put it on top of this Wi-Fi module. I don't want to heat that up at all. The next thing I'm going to do, we're going to do this stick first, and it's up higher. And I have this little magnetic board holder. I'm just going to hold it up in place. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm not going to be pulling hard or anything like that on the connector because we have the low melt solder. I'm going to use my magnets. I'm going to hold in the board on both sides so you can see the magnets on both sides there. So it's not going to tip over. I have my little grabbers just because it's hot and I don't want to burn myself. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come with heat towards the back here. And then when it's loose, I'm just going to pull it off real lightly. You put one more magnet on this side just to give it a little bit of extra support. Okay, I'm going to turn my air on. I'm going to put it to 385. And I'm going to do about 60%. And I'm not going to, I don't have any nozzle on it, so I can do a wider spread. And I'm just going to heat the back until that low melt solder is loose. And I kind of want to be quick. I don't want to spend too much time in the area. I know that the low melt will come off before the factory solder does, and there's another component in the middle of this area. I don't think it'll go anywhere, but still. I'm just heating the area. It's coming loose. There we go. There's one. I'm going to flip it over and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Alright, we're all flipped over. This side I'm going to have to be a little... I actually don't have to be as careful. Just because this one doesn't have any super delicate components around it that I can see. I see a test point, but nothing too crazy. So I'm just going to go ahead and heat it up the same way. Wait until everything is liquid. I'm pulling really lightly. There we go. That's it. Okay. So old ports off. I mean, old sticks are off. We're gonna let this cool for a second. Then we're gonna put this guy down under the microscope one more time, and we're gonna clean it up. So I'll be right back. Now this doesn't have to be super exact or anything. I'm just gonna come through and pick up all the old solder. Should just get absorbed. There's a lot, especially with that low melt. I added a lot. Let me get some fresh. Let me cut off this messy part. Come in with some clean wick. Oh, this microscope's going to be the end of me. I really need to get a new microscope, that's for sure. It's next to my list of expensive purchases. Jesus Christ. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done a little bit more thorough job of holding my microscope down. I went ahead and cleared out all these vias. The good thing about the Xbox board is the other side doesn't have exposed copper or anything like that, so it's really easy to wick these up, unlike other sticks. So it mounts in on this side and you solder it on the other side. You're not going to have any issues. So I'm going to whip out the new sticks. So I went ahead and I put the new stick in place. It just went through the holes. And we're just going to come from the back and put new solder in. Do this one first. I'm heating up from the other side of the pin, and then I'm going to push in with the solder. It's going to flow around. Release. Let's do the other corner. Great. I'm going to make sure it's still level by checking the side. It looks like I might be able to press it in a little bit, so just with my hands I'm going to hold it. I'm going to heat up this leg. There we go. I felt it press into place. So that's why I do the opposite corners, because then you can still kind of wiggle it around until it's completely flat. So I'll go ahead and do this for all the legs. I'll be right back when that's done. Alright, new sticks are all soldered in place. Those look good. It's all flush against the board. I'm going to give it a clean up with some IPA, which is just 99% alcohol. And we'll reassemble and test. That's really it for this. So it's a pretty straightforward repair. You just have to have the right tools to do it effectively and quickly. Just that hot air and the low melt solder that really makes this job a breeze. So if you need your sticks replaced, it's just a $30 fee. $35 if you don't have the sticks. $40 if you need both sticks done. And you can look at my website if you want to set something up. You can contact me there. And thank you so much for watching.